All right, welcome back to the Opportunity Room, the show where we sit down with true leaders, change makers, people who are turning ambition into actions. Today's guest is someone whose career is a true testament to what resilience, vision, lifelong learning can produce. Originally from Haiti, Jacques Lucas has built an exceptional path in technology and cybersecurity. Now serving as the managing principal and chief information security officer at Averdium, one of the leading cybersecurity firms in the country. With over 25 years of experience, Jacques has led teams, protected organizations, and educated communities. His journey has spanned IT operation, audit, compliance, executive leadership, and all while championing integrity and innovation. Holds numerous industry certifications, including the CISSP, which is the cream of the cream in security for people who don't know, CISA, QSA, and has spoken at major cybersecurity events across the US. Let's welcome in the Opportunity Room the one and only Jacques Lucas.
Thanks
Jacques,
for
please tell us in your own words who's Jacques Lucas.
thanks for having me. It's an honor to be here, and you have done such a great job to introduce me. Um, I, I don't like talking about myself. The only thing that I'll add that I'm a father, uh, a loving husband. Um, Family is very important for me, and we'll leave it at that. Very happy to be here today.
Jacques is very humble. I'm telling you, I've worked with him in the past, and as we go along in the interview, he will unpack his powers, and I'm sure you guys will be more than happy to that I interview such a inspiring leader for our community. So, Jack, obviously, you were born and raised in Haiti. So, tell us a little bit about your early life and what brought you to the U.S.
Oh, it's a long story.
All
So,
right, we
w-
got time.
absolutely. Um, I was born and raised in Haiti. I moved to the US when I was 24. Uh, I never met my father because he got killed in a car accident shortly after I was born. And shortly after that, my mom decided to migrate to the United States. I met my mom when I was 12 years old. So I grew up with my siblings, especially with my two sisters and two brothers. Uh, Life was what it needed to be. I, I had, I was loved and protected by my siblings and everybody around me in the community. Because in Haiti, the way things work, it's the village that raised you, and everybody was there to help out. And fast forward, we found a way to continue and pushing through, even all the odds were against us. And I went to school, fortunately, in Haiti, and I took IT.
Okay,
I went to technical school
okay.
in Haiti, and that's when I started my career in IT. Uh, uh, and then because my mom was living in the United States, she finally filed the paper for me to come over, and I received my green card to move from Haiti to Florida, and I was already 24. But before that, I was in 1980, and I worked for 5 years as an IT technician in Haiti.
Okay, okay, good. Sorry about your father. I didn't know about that part of that story. So it's good to have this type of interview to get to know you a little deeper on that aspect. So you started working in Haiti. So you developed that. You took IT because out of love, or you took IT because that was the most obvious choice at the time for you.
I took IT because it was the hard things. It
Okay.
was very hard. Everybody needed to use a computer at that time. If you didn't know how to use a computer, they would consider you illiterate.
Okay.
So, because that was what was coming up, and that's at the beginning of the internet. Everybody wanna go to a chat room. Everybody wants to use computer to make phone calls, all of these things. So I took interest in that, and then I said like, okay, that's a cool thing to do because I love computers. Let me go check it out.
Right.
Hey, the rest is history.
Okay. All right, good. Jacques, obviously, this is going to be a history lesson as well. For people who don't know, Haiti actually holds a unique place in history as the first Black republic to win its independence in 1804 after defeating the Napoleon French army. So it's a legacy built on resistance, courage, and leadership. So no wonder you are today a very successful leader. So this is a heritage from your ancestors. So this is just natural. So how has that heritage of resilience shape your personal and professional values today?
Thank you so much for letting everybody know about the backstory of Haiti, and it's in our blood. It's in our DNA. We never give up, and every day is a good day,
Right.
no matter what happened. When I wake up in the morning, it's a good day because a lot of people will love to be here. They're not. Okay, so so by having that mentality, because I know I've seen people that's less fortunate than me,
Right.
I go up there and I appreciate everything in life.
Right.
And I know if you put your heart into it, you
Right.
achieve it. And that's the reason when I move to the US, I persevere, I work hard to make sure I get what I wanted to.
All right. Good answer. So Jacques, what were some of the first challenges you faced when you were building a career in tech as an immigrant?
Ah, I moved from Haiti to Miami. I was already in IT. I had 5 years of experience. I put my resume together and trying to get a job in IT. That's what I know how to do.
Right.
I passed all these interviews, and at the end of each of the interviews, they asked me what university did I attend. I did not attend any university here. I
Okay.
attended technical school
Right.
in Haiti, and nobody wanted to hire me as an IT technician. So after going through this for a while and I couldn't get a job as an IT, I decided the obvious thing to do is to go to school, to go to the university here. So when they ask me the question, what university that I attend, that I can say, yes, I attend this and that university in the US right here.
Right.
So that's what I did. I so I enrolled at Miami-Dade College, taking IT, and after being in there, and I was getting a lot of the questions right all the time, always asking questions, and all my tests I was acing those tests. One of the professor there said, what you doing here?" And I told him my story. I said, I'm
Right.
trying to get a job in IT, but I did all that in Haiti already.
Right.
And he said, like, why are you taking the same thing again? I said, like, I can't get it. Nobody want to hire me. And he said, like, you're way too smart for that. You can take something higher. He said, like, just take computer information system so you can get a 4 year degree from it
Okay.
instead of just getting IT degree.
Okay.
I listened to the professor,
Okay.
changed my degree to computer information system, and then I was when I was done with my AA there, I got an associate from Miami-Dade. I, I got accepted to University of Miami and the Computer Information System program. So I went there, and I graduated cum laude And that's when everything changed. I know you have more questions, and when we get to that part, I'll tell you what happened there. Mhm.
Right now, let me ask you. That's great. That's pretty impressive. The foundation that you had at Haiti in that technical school when you started to study in US, obviously you were already ahead of most of the people that you were at college with. How difficult was it in comparison to what you study in Haiti? I'm just trying to make a comparison here as to the difficulty of the material that you had here versus what you were studying in Haiti in comparison. Which one was more challenging to you?
It was harder in Haiti. Um,
Okay.
uh, because what we were using was a lot of things that were not new. We had to learn to build computer from scratch, putting things together, and trying to save. We had to save money to buy the parts. And one of the uh, professor down there was he was also living in Canada. Is whenever he goes, he travel, he come back with all the parts, and when he come back with the parts, we put computers together, and we that's what he was teaching in the school, how you build a computer, how you do this, all of those things. So I had to do all of those and learn the hard way and how to build from not having that much. Here you can just go order everything, and uh, and everything that they're teaching you is pretty current.
Right.
I learned all the early stuff. So,
Right.
and that's the way that we did it. So when I got here, um, they're teaching me the same thing that I've done in Haiti. It was pretty easy because I had the foundation, and it's like, okay, yes, I can tell you what is that and how to do that, and I can even build it because I have
Right.
hands experience doing it.
Right. So that's very good information, mainly for people who are actually struggling to study with limited resources. Understanding that sometimes when it's hard in the beginning, it gets easier as you go. Uh, Once you graduated in Florida, and easy was it then when to get your first job now that you officially had a university degree in US? Did you just ace the very first interview, or did you have to go through the same thing again?
So I gotta take you back when I was sitting in a classroom
Okay.
in one of my CIS class. We had a speaker, just
Okay.
like I'm doing today.
Right.
And his name was George. He was a security guy, and he was a student at the University of Miami. And he had the same professors.
Okay.
And um, he he came to speak to us about what he was doing. And he was a security guy, he was a QSA, he had the CISSP, he has the CISA, he had all of these beautiful certification.
Right.
And he was telling us about what he's doing, and he's traveling and helping organizations secure the system and providing guidance and performing assessment all over the country. When he was saying all of this, I said, oh, that's exactly what I want to do. This is it. That's at that moment that I decided to pursue a career in cybersecurity, uh, because someone was there and took the time to tell us that, hey, I was here once, and this is where I'm at right now,
Right.
and this is the life. This is the trajectory. This is where you can be too.
Right.
And then, so what I did after that class, I spoke to that gentleman, and he gave me some pointers about, okay, this is what's hot right now. This is what we do. This is a day-to-day and cybersecurity consultant and all of these things. I went home and went to the website of that organization, and I dissected that website on every single thing that they had there, trying to understand what they are doing, what they are providing,
Right.
and making research about what those things actually meant. Because I saw PCI, it's just like what's PCI?
Right.
It's not the PCI port; it's the payment card industry. Just like,
Right.
what does that mean to be a QA? And I was looking at all, make some good research, and I learned a lot of things. And then now I had an idea of what I wanted to do. 3 months before I graduated from the University of Miami, the university usually have a career fair. So I had the dozen resume ready,
Right.
and I put my best clothes on that day because
Right.
all the big companies were gonna be there.
Right.
So, and I remember that day they were hosting it at the basketball stadium.
Okay.
So, very big place, huge. When I got in there, I saw a big line in front of all the big company that's like the Qualcomm, yeah, the Microsoft. Every single student wanted to drop their resume and talk to the people, the recruiter there.
Right.
So all those, and I'm seeing all these lines, and then straight through, I saw that guy and the company that he worked for had a booth there. I went straight to him, said, "Sir, I want to work with you. I want to work for your company." And he smiled at me and said, like, what do you know about our company?
Right.
That was the wrong thing to ask because I
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
spent a
Give you
lot
a
of
comfort.
time learning about what they did.
Right.
2 hours later, we were still having a conversation.
Right.
And at the end of the day, he said, like, right now, we don't have an opening. But what I'll do, I'll take your resume and put it on top. Whenever we have on our next opening, we're
Right.
going to give you a call.
Okay.
I said, okay. Then a couple of weeks later, I received a phone call for an interview.
Okay.
Went to that interview. I spoke with two of the directors, including the guy that I met before. And then after that, I interviewed with the CEO of that company the same day. I was in Coral Gables. And then the interview was over. And I said, okay, we'll let you know. 1 month later, I was like basically slightly less than 2 months before I graduated, 3 to 2 months, and I received a call, and a letter. I received an email with a job offer for me to start at that company after graduation.
Okay.
And one thing I failed to mention, the professor at University of Miami that has the relationship with that ex-student did write me a letter of recommendation.
Nice.
And I got my first security job just like that. And
So.
when, yep, when everybody didn't know where they were gonna go after graduation, I already had a job lined up for me to start. And I was fortunate, I was lucky to have some good mentors
Right.
because I was a teaching assistant and research assistant for that professor.
Okay.
And I was doing everything they asked me to do, and I was asking all the right questions. And they wanted to make sure that I get somewhere. And uh, thank to God, I was very interested in what that company was doing, and
Right.
that's exactly what they guide me towards too. And the rest is history.
That's pretty impressive. From what I see on that particular journey, is you already knew and you drafted a master plan. You didn't. There was all these big players lined up, the Qualcomms, the Microsoft, and all of that. but you already have your eyes set on that companies. You did the research that you wanted to do to because you're already ready when they call, when the opportunity was right there, you seized it, and because you had already some intel about the company, the rest was history. Do you remember the first title of that job?
Yes. Um, I was um, a, a information system consultant.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So now fast forward, how many years did you work for that organization?
Um, Close to 4 years.
Close to 4 years. Okay. So obviously you've worked across different IT, like IT operation, audit, compliance, and now serve as a managing principal and a CISO at Averdium. Can you walk us through that journey? Like how did you, how long have you been in Averdium, and what was the journey from just IT operation all the way to principal or CISO at Averdium?
Okay. So altogether, I've been in IT and security for 25 years now. Okay. For Averdium, I've been working there for the past 11 years. So things don't happen overnight. You have to pay your dues. And remember, I started in Haiti. I was IT help desk, system admin, and doing network admin, doing all that. So
Right.
this skill set, I already had those. And then I moved to Florida. I went to school and start in information security now. So now I learn all the compliance framework. Okay. So I even learned pen testing. So I've done pen testing, HIPAA, uh, um, PCI, ISO. At that time when I was doing a SSA 16 SAS, it was SAS 70, SAS 70, then they switched it to SSA 16, and so all of those things I learned. They put me in different verticals. I didn't have the luxury on just learning one thing and just I'm going to specialize in PCI and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be QSC. No, I did everything from healthcare or banking, did GLB and learn all of those. It's a combination of the technical skill about how to build a network, how to build put a computer together, a server together, and now the framework that show you all of these things
Right.
and not the other side. So then I had multiple title at Avertium. I started as a security consultant. Then later on, I became a senior security consultant. Then after that, I became a manager. Then I became a senior manager. Then we got merged with other organization. They changed the title. So I switched to from being a senior manager to being managing a consultant. Then from managing consultant being the managing principal. When during that period, the CISO left the company.
Okay.
We had a void. Um, and I said to myself, why not me?
Right.
Because I've been doing this for a while. I know the
Right.
organization inside out. I know all this framework inside out. I understand IT operation. That's where
Right.
I started all of this thing. I can bring all the, I've been advising organization. I've been advising CISO on, what to do for security. Said, why not me? And I raised my hand. I said, like, yes, I can help you with that. And the CEO said, are you sure? What about all these other responsibilities? I said, like, I'll manage. I'm used to that. I'm used to work long hours. That's not gonna be a problem.
Right.
And I just want the opportunity to help the organization achieve its goal. And then I got that the CISO position. um, with my other position. And it's like, yep, yes, that's fine. I'll do it. And we've been doing it, and we've been doing everything that we can in our capacity to make sure that we secure the organization and we keep up with all the new trends that's out there.
Okay, that's pretty inspiring. Jacques, let me ask you for the people who don't know, because obviously some of my listeners they don't know what a CISO is and what a CISO day-to-day task is. Can you kind of walk us through what a CISO role is supposed to do and what a day-to-day task of a CISO is?
So, what is a CISO? On my own term, a CISO is someone, it's a partner for the business and the operation to make sure that the risks are being controlled and reduce the risk to a minimum. We can't eliminate risk. There are always going to be some residual risk. Uh, but the job of the CISO is to make sure that all of those things are being managed. Okay, so it's no, you have to remove the chaos, because when something is not managed, it's chaotic.
Great.
The CISO is there to make sure all of these things being managed properly. So on a day to day, the CISO is going to be a partner of the business and provide them guidance on the decision that they are making to see if that's going to affect the security posture of the organization, if that's going to impact any of the framework that they need to abide by. Okay, because the business doesn't want to implement something and make a decision, and then later on they find out, oh, we're out of compliance for this or that, or we just introduce a new risk to the environment, and and the CISO is in charge of mitigating all the risks and to make sure all the logs, all of these things are being monitored. If there is something that is an anomaly, it needs to be escalated so the CISO can make sure that it's we take the right path and to investigate to make sure if it's not something that can potentially harm the organization. Okay, so in a nutshell, it is the bridge between IT and the business, and to make sure that you understand what's going on the environment as far as IT, and also what's the business objective. And you're there to talk to both and of those entities to make sure we all are working toward the same goal.
All right. Well said. Well explained. Well framed. So Jacques, obviously, let me just ask: is there a story while you were a CISO that do actually CISO actually turn their phone off when they get home, or do they still have one of these phones available where they can call them, "Hey, something is going on. Wake up and fix this for the organization."
Oh man, hey, you would love to turn your phone off, but you can't
You can.
because you know, you build the incident response, and
Right.
there's this escalation path. There's like who they're gonna call first, who they're gonna call second,
Right.
and you have to actually put phone number, like cell phone number. Okay, so most likely the CISO cell phone number is in that document
Oh my.
and is on the escalation path. Okay, if IT confirm it's an incident,
Right.
they're going to call the CISO at any time, and you better answer and start putting everything together to start the incident response. Okay, so you are the one that's gonna activate the incident response. You're gonna be the quarterback, and making sure that you have a IT there to look at those logs and trying to trace back what happened there, because you need to investigate exactly the path of every single thing that touches that incident, to make sure that nothing got no data got exfiltrated, or you didn't lose anything, and to see the impact, and you have to analyze the impact of the incident. So yes, you have to be available. I don't think if you're a CISO you have the luxury of turning off your phone at night.
All right, guys, for those of you who aspire to be CISOs and want to turn off your phone, think about it twice before making that move. So yes, so Jacques, obviously I would ask a question that has been I've been watching I've watched your career path, and I've noticed a trend. You don't move to different companies quite like this new generation of people that moves every 2 to 3 years, that change new career path. Is there a reason behind that?
Let's let's say that I'm someone that's very loyal.
Okay,
Yeah, I've been married for almost 20 years to the same wife. I don't I don't change stuff that
right,
often. So I know that there's a trend out there. If you jump ship very so often, you can earn more money and get a career boost. You have to work for some people. But me, I believe in stability. And if you do what you do well, and peop sooner or later, people will recognize it.
right,
They will notice,
right,
and you will get the fruit of your labor. So, um, I'm not telling someone if you find a better opportunity not to take it.
right,
But if a organization been treating you well, been treating your family well,
right.
and they give you the respect that you want, and they include you on everything that you want, you know, and if they're being good to you, I think the least you can do is being loyal to them. And in business, there's no loyalty really, to an extent, but you'll find those few organizations and few people that been around and that done well.
I like that answer. So before moving, just think about it. Some people, it's in their DNA to be loyal. Others people have to put some thought into why they want to make that move. But wherever you look at it, it's just it's a personal decision, and just think about it as Jack advises. If you treat it well, there's no need to move over and change it. So, what do you think is the most underestimated skills a cybersecurity leader needs today?
That's a very good question. Um, Most people assume cybersecurity leadership is all about technical expertise, framework, or enforcing compliance. But the reality is, you rarely own all the systems, teams, or budget tied to the risk. So, what it actually means is getting buy-in from product engineering, legal, and executive without forcing it. Framing risk in business terms. So non-security leaders care enough to act. Okay. Navigating politics gracefully, because in company you always have you're gonna have politics in there. You need to learn how to navigate all that, and to secure support for initiative that don't directly serve others' short-term KPI, because some organization they focus on the short term. So you have to find a way to maneuver around to make them understand that leading to persuasion, not just policy. Okay, you have to be able to do that. So, in today's interconnected organization, a CISO is more diplomat than dictator. The ability to influence
Okay.
behavior and decision making across silos without formal authority, because you don't have the authority, because those teams don't report to you. It's so that's what separates effective security leaders from the rest.
Nice. Well put together, Jack. Well put together. For those of you that don't know, I had the opportunity to work for, I would say, the privilege to work under Jacques. Jacques is a brilliant leader, and he always reaches across the aisle to make sure that everybody gets what they need. So, in your current role, right, you lead both strategic and operational aspect of cybersecurity. So, how do you manage that? You kind of touched on it a little bit just on that previous answer, but how do you manage or balance technical leadership with business strategy?
It, the, that both work together. And when you can talk to the executive, like the business term, and you can talk with engineering, and you understand them at the same level, and you can put all those together, it makes people wants to talk to you, and they tend to listen more because you understand where they're coming from. Okay, you understand their lingo. If you just technical, now you don't have the business acumen. You cannot communicate uh, to business term what that means is. You don't have to when you tell the senior executive that this is a CVSS score 9.8, that doesn't mean anything to him. But if you frame it as that something, if this is not getting taken care of, that's going to impact delivery. Now you're talking impacting delivery. That means
Right,
that's something they can relate to. That's something that
right,
you want to hear about. And
right.
what's need to be done now that we can still deliver on time. So this is the type of thing that you should be able to do when you have the knowledge of you have the technical skill and the business acumen. You put up both together to serve you well.
So, Jacques, if you never had the opportunity to actually be exposed to business or just working with the business people, how do you develop those skill set to be able to just translate the technical into business language?
Mentorship, mentorship,
Mentorship. Okay.
mentorship.
All right.
So, so one of the things that we don't do enough is we have a goal. We want to do something or be in a position, but we don't reach out to people that's already been in that position, people that done it. Uh, so they have a blueprint. They have done it. They know how it's done. They know what it takes to get there.
Right.
Why not tap into to this and go and ask the question, what do I need to do in order for me to get to your seat? Okay. A lot of people in a leadership position, they like to share, they like to give back because at one point, somebody helped them. They got mentored by someone.
Right.
Okay. Someone had to give them a chance to get to that position.
That's
So
true.
they wanna do the same thing for anybody that's willing to ask, anybody that aspiring to be in their position.
Right. Okay. So mentorship is the key to that. So, guys, um, let's switch over a little bit to obviously still in your experience in your career path. You've actually spoken at many universities and professional conferences. Why is public education and outreach important to you?
So I I've been mentored, challenged, and supported throughout my career. Speaking at universities event is my way of giving back. If students see someone who looks like them, came from a non-traditional path, or had to learn by doing, it helps them believe they belong in this field too. I was once in their seat. My life changed for the better after listening to a speaker in my CIS class that I told you about at the University
That's
of
right.
Miami. That's when I decided to pursue a career in cybersecurity.
That's great.
I want to inspire the next generation just like that by giving.
Definitely like that. Giving back is very, very. You have to. You don't. You have to be. If you're selfish, you cannot give back. And if you're somebody that's been mentored before, look towards building that bridge and mentoring people who are actually looking for that type of opportunity. That's one of the reasons why we actually created this podcast to give people the opportunity to learn into people's story and make it their strategy. In your opinion, what is the cybersecurity risk or trend that are still being overlooked by business today?
So I think organizations still overinvest in perimeter defenses and underinvest in identity protection. Uh, Over permission account, lack of strong MFA enforcement, inadequate monitoring of privileged access, for lateral movement detection. Why it matters? Most breaches now start with credential compromise, often without malware ever being involved. API exploit and shadow integration. API have become the silent backbone of most business operation, but many are undocumented, unmonitored, and unauthenticated. Sorry. Security review rarely cover third-party integration or internal APIs. The input validation, behavioral analytics, and those are often missing. So attackers are moving to low noise, abuse of trusted channels like API to extract data or pivot internally undetected. And
Okay.
the other one is deepfakes and social engineering at scale. We have seen the tip of the iceberg with AI powered impersonation, voice and video, deepfaking, tricking finance or HR teams, synthetic identity, fooling, KYC process, any process that you put in place for that. Uh, Targeting phishing that mimic internal tone and timing. So the line between legit and spoofed is getting harder for even trained user to see, and few orgs are prepared. In short, so the the threats we used to call edge cases
Mm-hmm.
are quickly becoming attack norms. And organizations that don't evolve their threat models accordingly
Mm-hmm.
are setting themselves up to fail.
So, Jacques, we recently had this. I don't know if you heard of it. This major transaction that resulted from a deep fake, somebody impersonating a CEO and just or higher level, and just were able to actually transfer or wire $20 million of a fund. In that particular case, what immediate control can? How can an organization prepare for a situation like that?
Um, it's really hard because people and from nature we want to help. Okay, our first reaction when someone asks us for something, we want to help. But what we have to understand, the CEO will never ask you to do something out of the norm, something that you're not used to do. Okay.
Okay.
So you know how to get in touch with the CEO. If that CEO call you and send you an email, hey, you can go and verify if it's the actual CEO. calling the number that you know that's actual the CEO number, or sleep on it for a minute.
Right.
Okay, you don't have to jump and do it right away.
Right.
Because if the CEO gonna be in town next week or gonna be in the office tomorrow, as well, in person we can do it.
Right.
If uh, you have some standing meeting with that same CEO, because you're probably gonna cross path in some of the same meetings, you can take the time to just like, "Oh, I want to talk to you about that email that you sent."
Right.
There is ways. So training at the end of the day is security awareness training.
Right.
Train the people to take a step back,
Right.
and look at the request and question yourself if that is something that the CEO asked you to do previously.
Right.
Is that standard procedures? Is that
Right.
part of your SOPs?
Right.
Any deviation from your SOPs should make you question the request.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So people, it's not that complicated. There's an easy way out of this type of social engineering attacks. So just making sure that if you don't know, ask, double check with the people, check your SOPs, make sure that anything that looks out of the normal, you question that. A simple way of figuring out this type of attack and controlling your whole organization against this type of attack. So, Jacques, you mentioned AI a little bit. You mentioned of the API. You mentioned different technology and different ways of people to authenticate and problems with authentication. With the rise of automation, do you think that AI will replace analyst job, or what role do you think AI can have in today's compliance audit, the GRCs altogether? What role AI will play? Would that replace the traditional analysts in doing assessment? What is your take on that?
For the analysts that doing the assessment, I think they have to embrace AI. Don't see AI as the thing that's coming to get your job, but you should uh, take AI as the tool that's going to help me be more efficient. So now, if it usually take me 2 days to do this task, now I'm powered with AI. I can probably do that in 2 hours. You can gain efficiency. So they might not need the same amount of analysts anymore because you're becoming more efficient.
Right.
So yes, some people will be affected, but it's not like a one-to-one replacement. We're just going to replace all the consultant by AI and then let AI do it.
So that's interesting comment there, I'm totally in phase with what you said. But now, what happened with all of these datas that we are actually querying with Gen AI? What are we doing with all of this sensitive data that we actually is being used by AI to answer those questions, or actually fasten the response time, or making rendering all of these assessment 10 times faster. So, Jacques, going back to the AI question, obviously, like you said, analysts can leverage AI to make their job faster and more efficient. Now, what happened with all of those data that's actually being ingested in all of these AI tools? What happened with that? What's your take on that? So, because we're taking a lot of sensitive data that we just using it as an input to whatever AI tool you want to use to make your job faster. What happened with all of those data that we are actually sending to AI tools?
We have no control over those data once we put those information into those third-party AI tools. And they're gonna use all this information to train the model. Unfortunately, this is something organization need to take seriously, and make sure that when the workforce going to put something query in AI, that they don't put that de-identify a customer information and the organization information. So because we have no control on what they're going to do with all this information. So and we have to be very careful with that part.
Yeah, that's fine. I think there will be we need some governance and around that AI, whatever AI framework we use, we need to adopt some stronger AI governance around that particular questions. Uh, we're getting close to the end of our interview session here. Obviously, we have a whole lot more questions, Jacques, but since we want to limit the interview to 1 hour, so what I will ask you next is, just things that are outside of work, just to get to know you a little bit better. Obviously, if people wants to reach out to you and learn more about leadership and mentorship, they can reach out to you on LinkedIn or any
Absolutely.
other channels that you can share later on, or we can they can reach out to you on those different channels. So outside of work, what do you do to keep yourself sane, balanced? Because obviously you are very busy, and you may receive a call while you're on vacation as a CISO. What do you do to keep yourself balanced?
I play soccer. I play soccer on Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's my
Nice.
happiness, and that remind me when I was young, and I really enjoy it. I'm always looking forward to get on the field. So
So,
that's what I like to do.
what is the one book that shaped your leadership thinking?
Um, The Art of War by Sun Tzu.
The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I haven't read that book yet, but I'm gonna definitely add it to my to-do list, and definitely see what I can take away from that. And my audience will also would love to. We have the tendency of giving them books that inspire the leaders that we actually invited into this panel. So the Art of Work, guys, take a note of that and just go find it. So
The
security
funny thing,
framework that you swear by.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The funny thing, that has nothing to do IT and cybersecurity, but you'll learn so much after you read that book. You'll tell me after.
Definitely. I'm gonna purchase that on Amazon right after this interview, because I like challenges like that. I like to learn and get better every day. So, what is one of the security framework that you swear by? I can guess, but I'll just let you say.
PCI.
And why is it PCI? Is it because you've been a PCI guru for many years? You actually even created a specific something I will not mention here, but yeah. Why PCI though?
Um, because some of the framework they they don't go eh, to a very deep level of detail. PCI is very prescriptive in a sense. They tell you like, okay, you got to do this every quarter, and you need to review your logs every day. It's obvious what they're saying. There's no interpretation. Thought when they say that reviewing the logs meant this. Hey, it's simple. We got to review the you got to review the logs every day.
Right.
Somebody can do it, or you can use some automation, and that's gonna fire some tickets if there's if you need to escalate. So basically, I like that aspect of it.
Pretty straightforward framework. That's what Jack told you. That's why he loved PCI. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I work under Jacques in PCI. He's one of the best mind in PCI. If I can, it's an understatement to say what type of leader he is. He encouraged me to get better, to speak up, to actually showcase my talent in many ways. So that's the type of person you will want to be their boss, because they not only they lead by example, but they also help you grow at the same time. So, one of your favorite Haitian dish, Jacques?
That's the hardest question here.
Really?
Because there's so many good dishes, and
Okay.
I asked my wife about her favorite dish. She gave me one, and I asked her, since you're my wife, what's my favorite one? She said, like, you love all of them, because you eat everything. So, from red snapper, black rice, griot, conch, the legume, that's the vegetables too. Like, man, the oh, I'm salivating. I just love it.
Your wife must be a great cook, Jacques. That's why you're having a hard time having a best dish or favorite dish.
Exactly. I love them all, man. If
Yep.
free time, I'll take. Oh, yes, yes. There's so many of them. And my wife, she's really good. She's a really good cook, and I really appreciate that.
Man, thank you, Jacques. This was an honor having you on this podcast. Obviously, like I said, we want to skip this podcast under 1 hour or at the max an hour because people usually their time span and their concentration have shrank because of many different reasons. So we want to make sure that people are actually in tune and just take the max out of this interview. What is one last word that you give my audience? Or let me ask this one question that I always ask to people. What advice would you give to your 21-year-old self?
Believe in yourself and draft a plan and execute on that. A man without a plan is a lost man. A man with a plan is a dangerous man.
There you have it from Jacques Lucas. Jacques Lucas, man, thank you again. This is a privilege to have you here. Obviously, you could have spent time with family. You gave us that 1 hour of the time that you could have spent with your family. So this was a journey of masterclass, perseverance, transformation, and impact from the bold legacy of Haitian independence, a nation born from fight against oppression to the front line of global cybersecurity leadership. Jacques carries forward that same spirit of resilience. His history reminds us that success isn't just about where you arrive, but what you overcome, who you uplift, who you lead, and when no one is watching. Jacques, thank you again for sharing your voice, your values, and your vision. You are not only protected system, but you inspire generation. Again, this was Amadou Cole. I was the host on the Opportunity Room. Keep learning, keep pushing, keep dreaming, keep believing in yourself. Until next time. Thank you, Jacques.
Thanks for having us. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Bye.